Hey guys, TrinityC here, coming at you with another video. We have yet another Pokemon Winds and Waves leak, this time coming in the form of a riddle regarding new Pokemon. If you guys have been following the leak community since Pokemon Sun and Moon, you'll know that this has been a staple within the leak community. A lot of these leakers through the years have used riddles as a way to tease new Pokemon while not outright revealing them to us, and I'm a bit mixed on them. I think the riddles are fun because it gets the community talking, but at the same time, sometimes I don't exactly know what they're trying to tease, and we'll get to that with some of these images here. So apparently this collage of riddles is coming from someone named Billy. I am unfamiliar with the source, but apparently Reddit as well as Central Leaks, as we can see in this tweet, are saying that this person has been a credible source within the community. So let's take this all with a grain of salt as we break into this here. So the first pairing of images we have here are of a shoe-billed stork and a pirate. So I'm presuming the images that are paired together or are close together have to do with one another. So presumably we're getting some sort of shoe-billed stork Pokemon that's going to be based on a pirate. Maybe there's a pirate gym leader in the game that has a stork as their signature Pokemon, or maybe this Pokemon is a pirate parakeet-like line that's based on the shoe-billed stork. Next up, we have what looks to be a koala or some type of koala-looking animal paired with a boxer and a mountain. I'm not really sure what this could mean with the mountain here. That kind of throws me off a bit. What I would imagine here is this koala-looking animal, if it is a koala, because it looks to have a tail, which I don't think koalas have long tails like that. So I'm not exactly sure what this animal is, but I'm thinking it might be a koala fighting boxing type Pokemon. And what I'm thinking here is maybe, just maybe, this could be an evolution to Komala. Komala is a Pokemon that was introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon in Generation 7, and ever since it was first introduced, it screamed that this Pokemon needs an evolution. I cannot understand why it is a one-stage Pokemon because it is so forgettable and desperately needs something. So maybe, just maybe, this grouping of images here is teasing a Komala evolution. Again, I'm not really sure what the mountain means here. That's really throwing me off, but let me know with all these images what you think they could be teasing here in the comments section below. Next up, we have a trio of images which are clearly a Komodo dragon. We have a Komodo dragon on its own. We have a man behind a Komodo dragon, and then a dragon that looks to be maybe like a basilisk, where it has a dog-like features with a dragon with wings with a snake-like tail. So maybe this is teasing some sort of brand new Pokemon that's mythological in a way. I don't know, because what I'm curious about here is we have a Komodo dragon with a man, and then what looks to be like a basilisk, right? Is this all meant to be a line of a Pokemon, like one evolutionary line, or are these teasing three separate Pokemon? Maybe we'll get two Komodo dragons that are version exclusives, and then maybe they evolve into like a basilisk-like Pokemon, or maybe this is a legendary trio. Maybe not for the covers, but maybe this is like a legendary trio that we're going to encounter in the post game. We have one Komodo dragon, a second Komodo dragon, and then a basilisk-like Pokemon. Think of like the forces of nature, how we have Landorus, Tornadus, and Thundurus, and obviously Enamorus was added on later on. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Next up here, though, we have what is a spiky Anteater with a sniper. I'm thinking what this probably is we're going to get an Anteater Pokemon, and this Anteater Pokemon's probably going to be some sort of a hunter. Maybe it's hunting down Durant or a new ant-type Pokemon, and the sniper is meant to basically indicate that, hey, this Pokemon's going to hunt down and be the prey of another Pokemon. That's what I'm thinking we're getting here. Next up, we have what is a Malayan tapir along with a statue of Buddha, according to my research. I'm not too familiar with this animal, quite frankly. I'm getting a Yokai Watch vibe from it. There's a creature in Yokai Watch who resembles a tapir. If I can find what I'm talking about here, I'll throw it up on screen, but I'm not really sure what this is teasing. It's probably going to be some tapir-based Pokemon. Maybe it's a psychic type that meditates. Who knows? But this is clearly indicating that there's going to be some connection between this Buddha statue and a tapir Pokemon. What that connection is, we'll have to wait and see. The final two teasers we have are really interesting to me. I think these might be for the cover legendaries, and the reason I say that is because one of them shows a little girl and one of them shows a little boy. We know from the leaks that the cover legendaries are going to be based on an old man and old lady respectively, so the fact fact that these animals here, these creatures, have genders attached to them makes me think that this might be for the cover legendaries. On top of which we have one of them, which is a moon god Pokemon, and one of them, which is a sun god Pokemon, which again is something that I think is going to come into play here with the lore of this region and just the legendaries of this region. So the first of which is the moon little girl Pokemon, which seems to be based on a rabbit, which would be really out of left field because I don't think anyone in any speculation that I've seen at least has been saying that the legendary Pokemon for Pokemon Waves is going to be based on a rabbit. So that would really come out of left field, and I'd be okay with that, quite frankly. The thing I love about Pokemon that they've done more so since Generation 6, I would say, is they've been doing pairings of Pokemon just like they did back in Ruby and Sapphire, where you have a whale and a kaiju creature, right? A kaiju Godzilla-like creature in Groudon and Kyogre, respectively. So in Gen 6, we got a deer and Xerneas and a bird and Yveltal. Gen 7, we got Solgaleo, a lion, and a bat and Lunala. Gen 8 was 2 wolves, that doesn't count, but then we have Gen 9 again with the 2 lizard-type Pokemon. I like when we get 2 distinctively different animals that make up our cover legendary pairs, and in this case, it seems like the Waves legendary is going to be based on a rabbit that is kind of worshipping the moon, or like a moon god Pokemon that's going to be feminine in nature. I really like that description and just what we're being teased here, and well, I was going to say we should find out about this in the not too distant future, but we're probably not going to know the legendaries till Pokemon Day of next year, so yeah, that kind of stinks. But the next one is a Hornbill based Pokemon, again based on the sun, and a little boy, which is making me think we're going to have some sort of phoenix like bird for our Pokemon Winds legendary. So imagine that we have a phoenix based sun god bird Pokemon for Pokemon Winds' cover legendary, and then we have some sort of moon goddess type rabbit for Pokemon Waves. I'm not sure how it would be a more aquatic creature, but maybe it's not going to be a water type. Maybe its connection to the seas is going to be something entirely different than it being an aquatic creature. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, that is the leak that we have today. This collage that's making up a riddle for seemingly at a minimum 5 new Pokemon, maybe more than that if the Komodo dragons end up being a brand new Pokemon each. But let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about all of this. Do you have any predictions as to what these are teasing, and maybe a better representation of what they mean than I've come up with here? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from Trainer DC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.